While visiting my children in Arizona a few weeks ago, I invited Christina to share with us on a Wednesday devotion. I didn't tell her what she had to say. I didn't put any ideas in her head or anything like that. I just said that she'd get a chance to speak for just a couple of minutes. These are very short. And she'd get to share something important to her with other Christians um, and some encouragement to them. I didn't know what she would talk about. She's a school teacher. She's been, like many school teachers, fighting COVID all this past year with classes that are unpredictable and students sometimes in classes and sometimes quarantined. And I thought she might talk about COVID. She is a drama teacher. Her background is in theater and the performing arts. And I thought she might talk about how art works in with the Christian faith. She is a young adult, out over 1,000 miles away from home. I thought she might talk about what it's like to go take on a big new world and leave home and be far away from your parents. But what she decided to talk about, if you watched, and if not, you can go back a couple of weeks, of 3 or 4 or 5 weeks, find her when she was the guest. But what she chose to talk about was her struggles with having a personal devotional life and how those devotions didn't always turn out the way she had anticipated. And sometimes she felt like she was letting God down, and maybe she wasn't pleasing to God because her devotional life was so erratic. I've got to say that I was pleased that she chose that topic. I had been considering that very same topic. I had planned to, if she didn't do it, I had planned to do it very soon. And I thought even over the next few weeks, from time to time, I might slip in some little suggestion on how to make a better personal devotional life. Now, why did I want to choose that topic? Because I am struggling a lot right now with my personal devotion life. Now, that might seem strange. I've been a pastor for decades. I've been up in the pulpit, I don't know how many times, preaching and talking to people about their devotional lives. I'm getting retirement age. You would think by now I'd kind of have my act together and I wouldn't be struggling so much with a personal devotional life. But that's not the case. So let me share with you some of my struggles, as Christina recently shared with you some of her struggles, and perhaps something in what we say will be beneficial to you in your struggles. But before I do that, I need to say that this is a short midweek devotion. From the Littleton United Methodist Church. for a number of years now, I have had what I think, for me, is a well-structured devotional life. Many years ago, I sat down and took devotion seriously and laid out a plan for myself, even sought some help from some older, more experienced, more mature Christian friends. For a while, I even had a spiritual director to kind of help with that. I wrote it all out. I have been faithfully following that, but it's not working anymore. See, I had a fairly predictable life. I woke up about the same time every morning. I went off to work about the same time every day. I didn't always take lunch at a particular time, but it was kind of flexible, and I knew about how much time I had for lunch, and I incorporated that into my devotional plan. I incorporated early morning into my devotional plan. I got home from work at a similar time. I was kind of tired. I'd sit in a recliner and vegetate for a while, and then kind of get up and putter around a little bit and go to bed, and everything sort of flowed. Well, that's not my life anymore. I recently retired. I tried to keep the same devotional plan. I really did. It's been fruitful for me. It's been helpful for me. It was been an important part of my life. And I would set my alarm at exactly the same time as before. I would get up and I would try to do my devotions and lay out the day. And it just didn't work. It's not that I'm less busy than I was before. Any retired person would tell you that they're not less busy, but I have a different structure to my life, and it didn't fit that regimented plan I had before. I know what I have to do. I need to go back to the starting board, sit down, look over my new schedule, look over what's going on in my life, look over the place that I am at in my spiritual journey, and develop a new devotional plan for me. Now, that's nothing new. I've had to do that off and on over the years. It seems like every time I change jobs or I change locations or I change my schedule, I have to do something like that. Sometimes I have to do something like that because I've just become aware of new practices, devotional practices, that I think may be helpful for me. Sometimes I have to change because I outgrow some of my old spiritual practices and I just need to start with something a little different, a little new. So that's not a frightening thing for me. I'll tell you what else isn't a frightening thing for me. Once I develop this new plan, if I miss it for a day or two, that's not the end of the world either. I have learned I'm not going to go back to the beginning and pick it up. Some people they'll read so many chapters of the Bible a day, and then if they miss a day or two, they feel like they got to go back and double. Well, you double 2 or 3 days in a row, and you've got a huge amount that you've got to do. I just start over from where I left off and go again. I know what I need to do, and I'm looking forward to it. Okay, let's bring this home to where you live. You may not feel like you have a good devotional life. You may not have a good devotional life. You may be trying to fit in some devotions that don't fit you. You could be trying to adapt someone else's devotional life for you. Maybe somebody gets up at 4:30 in the morning and has a half an hour or an hour of devotions every morning before they start the day, and you think, I got to do that too, or I'm not going to be a mature Christian. And then you sleep in and you just can't make yourself do it, and then you feel like you're a failure as a Christian. Well, you're not. Don't let a crummy devotional life defeat you and make you feel like you're not following God. On the other hand, don't let a crummy devotional life defeat you and make you just give up and say, well, I can't do it anyway. We struggle with our devotional lives, but they can be a victorious part of helping us grow as Christians. Let that be the case for you. And don't feel bad if you struggle with it. Just struggle through it. We put together these midweek short devotions for you. That's why they're here. The goal is to encourage you, to challenge you, to help you to grow as a Christian, to address practical issues in the Christian life. It may be that you have a friend that is struggling with devotions. I mean, it may be that you are, but it may be one of your friends are also. If that's the case, and if there's someone that might benefit from seeing this little video, I invite you to share it with them, to tell them about it, or to just go down and share it on your Facebook site. Whatever is helpful for you, but this is for you. May God bless you. May God guide you. May God watch over you. May God lead you in all areas of the Christian life. May your devotional lives blossom and bloom and help you to grow. Have a good week.